Here's why the US keeps sending detained pro-Palestine activists to Louisiana. In early March, US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, abducted Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian graduate of Columbia University, inside his university housing in New York and sent him to a detention center in Louisiana. Just weeks later, ICE detained Alireza Daroudi, an Iranian doctoral student at the University of Alabama, and sent him to the same facility, the Central Louisiana ICE Processing Center, or CLIPC. And about 2 hours down the road, Tufts University doctoral student Ramesa Ozturk is being held at the Southern Louisiana ICE Processing Center. So why are non-citizens from different states ending up in Louisiana? Well, it's partly because ICE is a federal agency. That means agents can arrest and detain non-citizens anywhere in the US, and Louisiana has some of the harshest immigration jails and courts in the country. That brings us to Jena, Louisiana, a remote town with just over 4,100 people. And the largest employer in Jena? The CLIPC facility. CLIPC has long been notorious for allegations of severe abuse. Human rights workers and reporters have documented multiple cases in which people held there were killed by apparent medical neglect. What's more, the vast majority of people held at CLIPC don't have attorneys, and nearly a third of detainees reported prolonged detentions, often without explanation or information about a hearing. And even when detained people do have attorneys, accessing legal assistance is still a challenge. As of 2016, CLIPC only had one attorney-client visitation room. Detainees are rarely granted access to the law library or not even told it exists. They're often denied translation services too, which can delay their hearings by months. And of course, whether or not a detained individual has a lawyer greatly impacts their outcome. Detainees who have access to lawyers are 10.5 times more likely to succeed in their cases than those without. CLIPC is not an anomaly in Louisiana. Legal experts have documented similar civil rights abuses at multiple ICE detention facilities, including SLIPC, where Ramesa Ozturk is being held. And when they finally get to court, detained people in Louisiana say they're railroaded by judges who are biased against them. Detainees who don't speak English face further barriers. In August 2024, the American Civil Liberties Union interviewed an Ethiopian man whose proceedings were rescheduled 8 times because the court couldn't find an interpreter. And on top of all of that, detainees face a high chance of deportation. At one immigration court in Jena, 80% of asylum cases are rejected. Clearly, due process is a rarity in these remote Louisiana immigration jails and courts. Civil rights groups say part of why these systems have been able to get away with violating people's civil rights is that they often operate in the shadows, in rural towns miles away from attorneys and press and family members. But with the world's eyes on Mahmoud Khalil and those arrested in his wake, these abuses are starting to come to light.